is up, everyone? Well, this video is going to be coming out a little bit late today. Yeah, a little bit late. Um, I don't have a gaming video for you today, but I do have another or a different kind of content video like I've been talking about. Um, This is a video of some armor that I'm making. Leather armor, all hand worked, hand sewn. Um, yeah, for some cosplay stuff, because as you can see up there on the wall, if I can ever get the camera straightened out, couple lightsabers. Uh, Sorry, excuse me, duck. My hand doesn't want to cooperate, but they look pretty good. And I got some other pictures that I'm gonna show in a slideshow. Kind of go over some of the stuff. It's cosplay crap. Most people probably aren't gonna care, but those that do might actually like it. I don't know. See how it goes. But yeah, here we go. We'll go ahead and get into it. Here is the first shot, which is uh the two lightsabers put together as one. Um, like I said, I'd have a little bit. I'd have another shot of it, but where I started out was I have just the front and back base part of the vest, and I went ahead and drew up some designs that I thought would be all right. Um, Now the chest piece, which is the bottom piece, obviously, I have completely redone. About the only thing that's the same on there is where the pec plates are. The back piece, which is the upper piece, is basically still just like that. There's all the spine armor, all the spine plates completed and actually stitched onto the the base part of the vest. As you can see, I went ahead and changed the color of the stitching to red because it just with the red and black on the sabers, it just fits better rather than the black and tan from the natural colored sinew. I didn't realize it at this point, but the way I've been making the sinew red is not a viable option. Alright, now here you can see the pecs. They've changed a little bit and they're a lot closer together, and that's just because I didn't quite realize how big they were going to end up. And once I did a rough comparison to my own chest, it definitely needed to come in. They were a little too wide, a little too much gap between, and I couldn't really put any kind of filler to cover it up. So I wanted to keep that gap as tight as possible since it is armor. It's not medieval metal steel armor, but it is lightweight leather armor, which actually is very effective in real situations. Same with the back. Little bit variance from what I originated with the drawn out sections. And that was just kind of realizing exactly how the stitching and the layering of the panels was going to work out. So that's where some of those parts kind of changed around, as you can see here. The angles on the lower three panels don't have the separation that the lines, the drawn lines here show. And it's for a couple reasons. One of them was ease of time and effort. And another one was also just because it wasn't really necessary. It would have just been extra time and effort into the stitching that didn't really need to be there. So I just went ahead and did it that way, and obviously, yeah, you can see I'm not perfect at this, and it's also not meant to be perfect. Um, Going back to the Star Wars thing, I'll give you a little bit. Uh, let's do this. All right. In Star Wars, obviously, you have Sith and you have Jedi. Well, you also have Gray Jedi. They're not good, they're not bad, they're neutral ish. They're more for the people. Now, Sith and Jedi, their armor and outfits are going to be immaculate because they have those kind of resources on hand. Most your gray Jedi don't have those resources on hand because they don't necessarily have the backing of the council. So they're kind of left to do their own thing. And as we've seen in most of the Star Wars universe, that tends to lead towards like kind of scrounging for things you need happening upon them, unless you happen to be wealthy. Most gray Jedi's weren't because they were trying to take care of other people. Most funds and everything they got went towards people that needed it more than them. So they kind of got the short end of the stick as far as resources. But they may do. Some of the biggest I haven't read any of the books, but throughout research, it seems to me like the best reason why the Grey Jedi's didn't really have the backing of the council was more by choice because they didn't want to follow the staunch rules that the council set forward because they didn't see it as clear cut black and white as the council did with the Sith and the Jedi. But so the intention with this is not to make it perfect. I want it to actually have some of that like rough scavenger kind of feel to it, but done in a way where it's shown that care and attention to detail and kind of making do with what you got um, situation, but done properly. So that's kind of the feel I'm going with it. So that's why you'll notice there's quite a bit of imperfections in there. Some things aren't quite in line just right. If you really look at some of these photos real close, you'll notice it's not even like really centered right on the vest. It's a little skewed off to one side or the other. There again, human inefficiencies, uh, human error. It's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. That's life. And it's also going along with that kind of rough, rugged, making do with what you got kind of situation. So we'll go ahead and get back into this now. But yeah, there's the back panel mostly done. There's going to be some other pieces that are going to get sewn on there to help tie in and add a little bit more protection along the outside edges, and it won't look as basic as it does right there. Um, there's the top straps that go over the shoulders. And here's where everything I had decided on the front went right out the window. Making that particular style of like midsection, which let me get back to it real quick. Right there. Yeah, making that particular style abs slash midsection wasn't going to be very effective because I realized I was going to have a lot of gaps on the right and left sides, and I couldn't really think of anything aesthetically that I really wanted to put on left or right of that, which is where I came up with that like swoop talon design kind of deal that I got going for the spine armor right there. Since I already started with that design, I wanted to keep incorporating it throughout the armor, which is where that central mid section comes in. And then now you see, after I've gotten the central done and stitched on, I'm moving on to the sides, which is still the same basic design, but more as a filler, for lack of a better word. So it's got a few different swoops than what the original idea does. And some of like the top piece, if you notice on the top right, that swoop right there is a lot less than the one on the bottom right of each of those pieces of paper. It's just trying to keep that style, that design style going, but not leaving too many openings or gaps, making it functional and also aesthetically pleasing as well. So I did that. Then I went ahead and started some little Photoshop projects to do that and then splice that together to see how it would look all together. which to me, I really like that. And so, since I'd gotten the basic idea down, once I actually got pieces cut out and put together, that's when I started figuring out the strap, or before I got the pieces cut out and put together, I started figuring out where I wanted the attachment points at, which is where this comes in. These buckles are actually going to be underneath the side pieces, so they stay protected from any kind of strikes, in theory. A little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and also the side pieces are going to cover up those openings there on the right and left side. And yes, that stitch up there around the armpit of the right arm, left as you're staring at the screen, that was a mistake cut. I didn't realize it had gotten underneath another piece of leather I was cutting, and I ended up started cutting into that. But as you can see now, I still have many more pieces to work on. I have some of these, well, all of these pieces are they're all glued together. I just have to do the outside stitching on some of them. And then go ahead and actually get them mounted where they're gonna go. But for the most part, the base leather that everything's sitting on, that's the added real protection. That's pretty deep. That's decently thick leather. That's under that the gray. So after they're glued together, it's gonna be some pretty stout stuff. But yep, I wanted to just go ahead and make sure that you guys kind of understand what's going on. I didn't make a. Let me actually hang on. Yeah, let me get back to this. Close that. Open that. All right. I didn't get a gaming video done this weekend because I didn't play anything throughout the week, and this weekend I was dealing with a pounding migraine all weekend. I wasn't about to play a video game. And I still have the what I believe to be the final battle in Conquerors to do, so I can finish that video. And actually finish that playlist, because that should be the end of the game. I still have to go back and finish everything in Jet Force Gemini, which is like going back through the game like 2 and 3 more times. It's long and tedious. That one's gonna take a while to finish up. The next game I'm thinking about playing, y'all let me know. So far, I'm thinking about GoldenEye 007 or Split Second. Not quite ready to jump back into Resident Evil yet. Giving myself a little bit of a break on that because I'm skipping past 5 and 6 because they were just a little ridiculous, and they really started kind of getting away from the genre a little bit, or away from the main idea a little bit. It just some ridiculous stuff in those. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into 7 and 8 whenever I get back into Resident Evil. So I'm giving myself a little bit of a nice palate cleanse before I jump back into that, because I know I've already been told by a buddy of mine who's a huge Resident Evil fan. He's already played both the games. He said flat out there it's two totally different games. It doesn't even it's still Umbrella, it's still zombies and things like that, but it's different. You're not dealing with the same characters anymore, different things, a lot more horror-esque, which I think is really cool. But yeah, we'll get back into that. But to finish this up, I just wanted to let you guys know it's like why I didn't get a gaming video out. And I've also been wanting to do content on this. And recently it just seems like the right video to make right now because I'm about to start getting back to work on it. Um, and I accidentally ended up making more work for myself on it. Because remember how I said I was coloring the natural colored sinew because I like the black and red. It goes better with the sabers. It doesn't clash as much, so on and so forth. Well, I recently found some really nice. It's hard to tell. Some really nice red sinew to go in, and I'm gonna have to restitch everything. It's going to take forever just to get back to where I am right now. Yeah. So, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys the heads up on that. Let you know what I've been working on with that, with the armor, what's going on with the gaming. And I at least wanted to make sure I had a video to put out today. And since I had a lot of these photos already sitting there ready to go, figured, what the hell, why not? So, if anybody likes this, please feel free to comment. Even if you don't like it, feel free to comment. If you want to tell me I'm dumb for doing shit like this, that's fine. I don't care. That's your prerogative. But doesn't mean I'm gonna stop doing it. So we'll see when I can go ahead and start getting back into making videos on both the gaming and the armor and the blazer, which like I said I haven't forgotten. Just it's at a stalemate right now. I need a bigger nerd than me to look at it because I am not afraid to admit there's a lot of shit I don't understand about Holly EFI. Yeah. And I'm tired of breaking my brain trying to figure it out and trying to find somebody around where I live to help me with it is a trick. So I'm working on stuff. I'm trying to get things going. Plus some other content that I am not going to hint to because I want that one to be a surprise. I've made some promises to some people that I'm trying to keep, and I'm still working on finding ways for us to do these things. So, once that gets established, we're going to go ahead and get some more content up on the channel. Hence the reason why it's labeled entertainment. Because this thing bounces around everywhere. It doesn't stay in one set direction. It wants to go all over the place. So I let it. But I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. If you want to see anything more like this, let me know. Because this is a little bit of a passion of mine. I like leather work, and I like doing stuff that's nice and difficult like this, where there's a lot that goes into it, and it's something that also brings people together, because when you do something like this and say Renaissance fair people or cosplayers or just um collectors even, they just want a really good set of handmade lightweight leather armor, something they can display. It's like, I really like doing this kind of stuff, so yeah. Let me know what you think. I'm intrigued. A little nervous. I don't know. Excited. But yeah. Hope you all had a good one. I hope to see you all in the next video. Everybody be easy, be kind, have fun. Have a good one. I'm out.